Sarah and her friends decide to explore an old, abandoned hospital rumored to be haunted. Once inside, they hear faint footsteps echoing down the halls. At first, they laugh it off as echoes, but as they move further into the building, the footsteps grow louder, closer. The air is thick with an unsettling silence, broken only by the rhythmic sound of their own breathing and the occasional creak of the old wooden floorboards beneath their feet. The walls, once white, are now stained with age and neglect, adding to the eerie atmosphere. As they venture deeper, the flickering lights cast long, dancing shadows that seem to move with a life of their own. Each step they take is met with a growing sense of unease, as if the very building is watching them, waiting. The footsteps they hear are not their own, and the realization sends a chill down their spines. They pause, straining their ears to catch any other sounds, but the footsteps stop as well, as if whoever or whatever is making them is aware of their presence. They exchange nervous glances, their earlier bravado fading away. The laughter that once filled the air is now replaced with whispered fears and hurried breaths. Determined to uncover the source of the footsteps, they press on, their curiosity battling with their fear. The corridor seems to stretch on forever, each door they pass closed and silent, hiding secrets of its own. The sound of the footsteps resumes, this time more insistent, more urgent. It feels as though they are being led somewhere, drawn deeper into the heart of the building. Suddenly a door creaks open ahead of them, the sound echoing through the empty halls. They freeze, their hearts pounding in their chests. The footsteps stop once more, replaced by an eerie silence that is almost deafening. They know they must continue, but the fear is almost paralyzing. With a deep breath, they move forward, the door ahead of them now slightly ajar. The darkness beyond it seems to beckon them, promising answers but also more questions. As they step through the doorway, the temperature drops noticeably, and they can see their breath in the cold air. The room they enter is vast and empty, save for a single chair in the center, facing away from them. The footsteps have stopped, but the sense of being watched is stronger than ever. They approach the chair cautiously, their footsteps echoing in the silence. As they reach out to touch it, the chair spins around slowly, revealing nothing. The chair is empty, but the feeling of a presence remains. They realize that whatever was making the footsteps is still with them, unseen but very much there. The fear is now palpable, but so is the determination to uncover the truth. They know they cannot turn back, not now. The journey through the haunted halls has only just begun. When they turn to leave, they find the door they entered through is locked. Shadows shift in the rooms and a cold chill fills the air. Panicked, they try other exits, but each one is sealed. Suddenly, a nurse in an old-fashioned uniform appears in the dimly lit hallway, her face twisted in a silent scream that seems to echo through the eerie silence. The friends who had been exploring the abandoned hospital for what felt like hours are paralyzed with fear. The nurse's ghostly figure is illuminated by the flickering lights, casting long, ominous shadows on the walls. Her eyes, hollow and dark, seem to follow their every move, sending chills down their spines. The group had heard rumors about the haunted hospital, tales of patients who never left and staff who vanished without a trace. But they never truly believed the stories until now. The nurse's presence is a stark reminder of the building's tragic past. She moves slowly, almost gliding, her feet not quite touching the ground. The air grows colder with each step she takes, and the friends can see their breath in the frigid air. Panic sets in as they realize they are not alone. They turn to flee, their footsteps echoing loudly in the empty corridor. The walls seem to close in on them, the once familiar path now a confusing maze. They run, hearts pounding, but every turn leads them back to the same spot. The nurse's silent scream haunts them, a constant reminder of their dire situation. Desperation takes over as they search for an exit, any way out of this nightmare. But the hospital seems to have a mind of its own, trapping them in its haunted embrace. The friends' fear grows with each passing second, their hope dwindling. They can feel the nurse's presence behind them, always just out of sight, her silent scream echoing in their minds. The exit remains elusive, and they begin to wonder if they will ever escape the haunted hospital. Eventually they stumble out, shaken and haunted by the realization that the nurse was just one of many restless spirits trapped within the walls. The hospital, once a place of healing and hope, had become a prison for these tormented souls. Each room, each corridor echoed with the whispers of the past, the cries of those who had suffered and never found peace. The friends could feel the weight of the history pressing down on them, a heavy, suffocating presence that seemed to cling to their very souls. As they made their way through the dimly lit hallways, they couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. Shadows danced on the walls, and every creak of the floorboards sent shivers down their spines. The air was thick with an unspoken dread, a palpable sense of fear that seemed to seep into their bones. They had come seeking adventure, but what they found was far more than they had bargained for. The nurse, with her hollow eyes and mournful expression, was just the beginning. There were others, countless others, whose stories were etched into the very fabric of the building. Some were patients who had succumbed to their illnesses, others were staff who had met tragic ends. All were bound to the hospital, unable to move on, their spirits trapped in an endless cycle of pain and despair. The friends knew they had to leave, but the way out seemed fraught with danger. Every step they took felt like a journey deeper into the unknown, a descent into a world where the line between the living and the dead was blurred. They could only hope that they would make it out before the spirits claimed them too. The spirits lingered, their sorrowful presence a haunting reminder of the hospital's dark past. As the music fades, the silence speaks volumes, leaving an eerie stillness in the air.